Well, a week after the country marked the third anniversary of Hurricane Dorian, the demolition of Dome City began. It's a move one resident says caught he and others by surprise when they heard the sound of bulldozers. Desperate, he's hoping his cries won't fall on deaf ears, as we hear in this report from our Cleopatra Murphy.
To have me in this position where I feel defenseless and I can't provide for my family is very discouraging as a Bahamian citizen.
3 years after Hurricane Dorian decimated Abaco, Dome City resident Denrado Roker is facing the reality that he and his family could soon be homeless after bulldozers moved in Thursday morning, tearing down several of what were supposed to be temporary housing.
One incident, you had someone did not want to come out of their dorms. The police forced them out of the dorm for the bulldozer to bulldoze down their dorms. You had people had their personal belongings and passports and different things inside these dorms, and the people didn't care. They just went and demolished everything.
The Roker is just one of several families still occupying domes that officials said were to be vacated at the end of last month, with several families being given extensions as they sought to secure housing with a $4,000 help from government. Roker, however, says that is easier said than done. The resident says he and his 11 family members moved to Eleuthera after Dorian wiped away everything.
When I was in Eleuthera working, I was saving my money so when I come back home, I could go straight into building without even getting any help from the government. I wasn't even looking for no help from the government, you know? But when the pandemic came on, I was paying rent in Eleuthera and I couldn't afford to pay rent and I needed to be building in Abaco, so I decided to move back home and start to pick up the pieces.
Roker says he was given permission to move into an incomplete dome once he put in the infrastructure, which he did, and that's where he and his family continue to lay their head. While his preference would be to move, his home is still under construction. The Abaco resident was able to secure somewhere to live, but it won't be ready for another few weeks. The father, with a baby on the way, says the destruction of what he and others have called home for months was devastating, particularly because they have nowhere to go.
We know in Dome City, everyone's situation is not the same. Everyone's situation is totally different. Some people, the $4,000 would have surely benefit, and I would agree with them to take the money and go and be successful, because the dorms is not where we really want it to be. So to the authorities, I'm asking you to please just hear us out, come see what's going on in our situation, and render the assistance that is due to us.
For now, Roker's dome marked with an O is one of several that's still standing, but for how long remains to be seen. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.